Good morning. Welcome. Today I want to talk to you about greatness. And I want you to realize that no matter what situation you're going through right now, whatever's happening around you, whatever path of life that you've taken up to this point does not change this one fact that you were made and you were created for greatness. Now, a lot of people argue this. Is success available to everybody? Can we all be successful? Are we all made to do great things? Are we equipped for it? Do we have the ability to? And there's a lot of misconceptions and knowledge that people don't understand about what greatness means. Here's the deal. All of us were not made to be carbon copy, identical elements of each other that are the same thing. And yet when people say these phrases of greatness and success, they're using comparison to compare what they've seen to their life and saying, I'm not cut out for that. Absolutely not. I want to verify that for you. You are not cut out to be somebody else. You are not made to be somebody else. You are made to be the greatest version of yourself that you are right now. So you right now watching this are unique. You were born at a certain time and you were born for greatness in your own unique way that looks nothing like anybody else. If you compared your life, your body of work, where you are right now to somebody else, they do not look the same and were never intended to. And so every moment of your life that you're trying to succeed by being somebody else, by doing something different than you, is a moment where you end up failing, is a moment where you end up not succeeding, is a moment where you end up getting a lesser result, is that moment where you are not being your authentic self of what you were created for. And so I want to say this. You were made for greatness, uniquely, individually. Everybody on earth can be successful individually, uniquely, in the way that is perfectly designed for them. And this is where a lot of people miss it. This is where a lot of people, they compare their situation to somebody else's and they say, well, look at them over there. I'm not them. So obviously I wasn't made to be great, because they have an image of greatness to measure up to of somebody else, another human that has done something. And so your comparison leads to unhappiness. And anywhere that there's unhappiness, there's comparison. You're comparing yourself to either somebody else or a past situation, or you're comparing it to what you want your future to be. Now, what you want your future to be, that's different. I'm going to talk about that in a second, because that's actually can be healthy to help you develop into what you were created for. You're actually comparing where you are now to your unique calling and destiny. But if you're comparing yourself to somebody else or a past situation, you will always be lacking and end up with unhappiness. Where there is no comparison, unhappiness can't exist, because you're not saying, I wish I was something different than I am right now. In fact, you're never intended to be anything different. You were intended to be exactly who you are right now in this moment. And in this moment in time, you are in the right place. You're watching this video with me, meaning every moment of your life has led up to this moment of you watching me on this video right now. I don't know how you got here. I don't know how your life led up to that moment, but we can both agree you watching this was part of your life path led you here. Yeah, because you're watching it. And some people clicked off because I said that. They're like, oh, that's a little weird. I want to encourage you of this fact that you were made for greatness. You were made for great things. You were made to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And so it's time to start declaring it in your life. the truth that has already been set beside for you, and compare not to somebody else, not to your past, but to your future destiny. Not a future comparison of how one day you will either be like you were in the past or be like somebody else, but rather who you were made to be. And pull from that dimension of the future into your reality now. Now, what do I mean by that? That's a little hooky, a little spooky. I get it. If you study quantum mechanics, quantum physics, and look at history, we understand past, present, future, time being more of a construct that we're in, and that there's actually a lot more outside of the realm, the supernatural realm. And so the supernatural realm is where the future is, the unseen, the unknown, the realm of where we're heading. You see, we can all agree on this one fact. We are all heading into the future. Okay, you can't stop it. You actually cannot stop heading into the future, but you can prevent yourself from trying to pull the past into the future and into your present. And so what it is embrace where you're heading instead of trying to recreate the past or create the future based on somebody else's past. And yet that's where unhappiness is. And we think, well, I can't be successful because I can't be somebody else. I can't be great because I'm not them. And this is a lie that you have been believing up to this point, that greatness and success equate to you being somebody that you are not. And I'm here to tell you this, that lie has kept you back from what you were created for. That belief that you are a mistake has kept you held back. But the greatness and the destiny that God has for you is in the future. And so you're to pull from the destiny in your future into your present reality. And so we look at the future and we say, what's there? Not somebody else's future, not a comparison future of what somebody else would do if they were us or what we would do if they were them, but rather what would we do if we were fully, authentically walking in what we were created for, not trying to compare ourselves, but becoming the best version of ourselves uniquely and individually. And that's how you bring the future into the present reality and marry the two to where it's no longer the future, but it actually is the reality that you're living in. If you've ever done something that you haven't done before, for example, if you learned to ride a bike, your present reality was not that of a bike rider, and yet you knew in the future you could ride the bike. And so you did the things to be a bike rider, to learn that. You're doing things. Your identity of who you are doesn't change. The things you do can. And so what you're doing is you're actually pulling from the future a new experience and then do something different. You make a different choice, a different action, a different decision. And that's a step of faith. And so before that, when you're living in the past or the present, you're lacking in faith. The faith comes and then you have to put it into practice and you have to walk it out. And so you walk from your current present reality into the future, but instead of actually walking into the future, you're pulling the future into your present. Because you're here, okay? You're in your body, in the present. That doesn't change. You will never actually go into the future. The future only comes into your present. And so we're actually not moving into the future. The future is moving into the present, and then it is manifesting in our life the greatness of what we were made for. And that's why I believe all of us were made for individual greatness, not anything that looks like, sounds like, acts like, walks like, talks like anybody else, but what was uniquely designed individually for us. And all of us can be successful. And all of us were made for greatness if we don't compare, but we walk towards the destiny and the calling that was made for us the day we were born. Grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.